Hi, this is Jim Ave, and welcome to week 2 in ATR 792A, Practicum and Athletic Training 1. Last week, as a reminder for your professional portfolio, you wrote your introduction and the executive summary sections for Code 1 and Practice Standard 1. And this week I'll read those. Hopefully by Monday I'll have those done. Earliest will be Tuesday, or the latest will be Tuesday. I'll return those to you. And one of the things I didn't tell you on how I give feedback is that, let's say I know something here that needed to be fixed, whatever it is, I'll insert a remark there. Oops, let's bring that back so you can see. And blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you those changes in a comment like that. Get rid of that. Or I'll change something in red text. I'll write in here in red, blah, 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 blah. And so you can see how I want things changed. So I'll give you feedback this week on the things I want you to fix or modify in the executive summary. I probably won't make too many suggestions in the introduction. But if I have some things that I want you to add or change, I'll put it in there too. But primarily the thing I'm going to be looking at is the executive summaries. I'll provide you feedback in your paper. They'll be returned back to you in Moodle. I expect you to make those changes by this next rough draft due at the end of week 2, in addition to what you're going to write this week. So in this week's rough draft, what you're going to work on is the artifacts section. So I have the portfolio open, template open, and we're going to work on the artifacts section. Now again, we have Code 1, which is patient responsibilities, and Practice Standard 1, which is direction. So what's it mean? What's this artifact thing all about? An artifact is providing evidence that you actually are meeting Code 1 and Standard 1 at your workplace as an athletic trainer. So you need to find a piece of evidence that you can actually turn in within this portfolio. It has to go in the appendix. So it has to be some kind of document that you can include in a Word document. So you find that piece of evidence that proves that you are satisfying that particular code or standard. So you have actually 2 artifacts. You have one artifact for the Code of Professional Responsibilities and one artifact for the practice standards. One of the questions I get from students about this: what if I have one artifact that satisfies both standards? I'll allow you to do that for this class. Okay, but it has to meet both code or practice standard. And then after you find that artifact, what you're going to actually write in this part of the body of your paper is that I want you to explain why that artifact demonstrates that you meet that particular code in pretty detailed information there. So you can provide me with a brief description of the artifact, what it's about, and all those type of things. But the primary thing that I want you to focus on is why the artifact demonstrates your meeting that particular code. So my recommendation is you have a page to a page and a half on the explanation of why that artifact meets Code 1, and then another page to page and a half on why the other artifact demonstrates you meeting Practice Standard 1. Now, when you first refer to the artifact in your paper, what you should do is something, I didn't bring that up. You go to how we have it here. So this is how this PE student wrote this. The artifact I've chosen to represent meeting shapes 2004 14 standard is an outdoor circuit, fitness circuits, and this comma Appendix A. Other way you can put this, which is located in Appendix A, or just put is an outdoor fitness circus and put this in parentheses, Appendix A. What that is telling the reader is where that artifact is located. Okay, as you can see, the student went back to the standards, explaining what the standard means, and then you'll read throughout this description as why that particular lesson demonstrates that this particular PE teacher is satisfying the PE standards that are assigned for this portfolio. So you'll do the same thing. You want to tie everything back to the description that you just provided in the executive summary, remind the reader about that, but demonstrate how that particular artifact demonstrates that you're meeting the patient responsibility. Now, it doesn't need to meet all subpoints, but you should refer back to the subpoints and how that artifact demonstrates you are satisfying these patient responsibilities. What students do on this particular area of the portfolio is they assume that the reader knows things about the artifact that you are using. Again, I said earlier, you can explain what the artifact is about in about a paragraph, but the rest of it should explain why the artifact demonstrates you're satisfying this standard. But the other thing that students do on this assignment portion, this part of the assignment, is they only write about a paragraph for each artifact. That's unacceptable. This section should be at least 2 to 3 pages in length. That's why I said 1 and 1.5 paragraphs or pages, for the code, and another page and a half for the practice standard section, explaining why that artifact satisfies the code or practice standard. Now you're going to place your artifact in the appendices. The Appendix A should be your artifact for Code 1. Appendix B should be your artifact for Practice Standard 1. You pop those suckers in there. It should be able to, again, be in a Word document, because all your portfolio is going to be in one file. If you have any questions about this, like if something is an acceptable artifact for that particular code or standard, please post it in the Q&A forum, because other students will probably have the exact same questions. Ask any questions that you have so I can help you with this particular assignment, and so we can continue to work through this process together.